What was the promise?
So she would teach you how to get the funding. She had a team that could help us, the contractors, lenders, the credit people.
This is how they say Jeanine Searcy, CEO of Black Girls in Real Estate, lures people in on social media, private one on one coaching courses to teach.
I'm gonna stop some of this right here because I had to cover this because it's about living in Atlanta, right? And this is some of the shit that happens in Atlanta. There are multiple. There are two sides to this. As an investor, I'm gonna tell you there's two sides to this. Boy, boy, boy. I've already seen the Jay Morrisons attacked. I've seen some of these other guys attacked. You know, the Ron Demick. Some of you guys attacking them, disliking what happened and took place. Oh, they stole our money. They took our money. This circles back to my initial pillar. I keep saying, in all my living in Atlanta videos, you guys depend too much on people to put you on. You depend too much. I've been on both sides of this. So that's why I look at it. I'm like, You depend on people too much to put you on. You guys are living a fairy tale, believing that you can give people money like you do for school, college education, and in turn, you will get an education on flipping real estate. And when you're done, you will be able to flip real estate, or you'll be able to invest in real estate, or you'll be able to do some creative program in real estate. That is a lie. You're taking the mentality from school, going to college to get a degree, with the expectation of coming out and being successful. If you're not learning this independently, you will fail. And that's okay. You do need to fail. You need to fail, you need to lose, and you need to get back up. There's a lie in our black culture that investing with a mentor will keep you from losing. That's a lie. A mentor's responsibility is not to keep you from losing. That's not it. Especially if they said they were your mentor, they're supposed to guide you through situations and that. But there are people that are just going to do what they want to do regardless. In this situation, I said, man, $25,000 to learn this person's program. You could have got that same information from damn YouTube.
Congratulations, well done.
And I could have just got right to saying that. I was trying to posture it, but let me not posture it anymore. You guys could have got that same information from YouTube. You could have went, there's so many YouTube channels out here, so many YouTube reels, which go over wholesaling, fix and flipping, creative financing, and building a real estate portfolio. There's a lot of content creators which put it out here freely. Now you say, Leon, you want to have your hand held. When you want to have your hand held and you don't know anything about what's going on, this shit happens. You at the very least, when you go to college and you're going to study to be an engineer, you do some time to study to find out what engineers do, what they believe, what makes a great engineer, and damn what you study as an engineer and what you need to be proficient in. If you give money to somebody and just decide that they're going to educate you is stupid. Entrepreneurs, real successful entrepreneurs, we give money to people to learn things, but not like you think. I've been around so many entrepreneurs that 25% of their learning, they do 25% learning, 75% execution. That's why this shit doesn't make sense, and it's never made sense. I've had people I partnered with bite my ass also, and they bite my ass bad, and they make up shit. So I'm like, okay, I hear what they're saying, you know, and I've given shit to people, and I've had my and I've had my ass bitten, you know, and I sat back and scratched my head, and I'm like, I should not have invested in that business because I didn't take the time. I not just invested in that business. I didn't take the time to even learn some pivotal or basic things when it comes to that business. I had to slow down. I'm doing all this other stuff and realize that I fucked up because I did not do this basic piece right here, which is one of the key principles. If you ever read a book called The Richest Man in Babylon, one of the key principles of that book is you invest in things that you know. When you put your money out there for education, you should have already listened to as many freaking YouTube channels and free information and content. And I would have said you should have gone a step further and started to execute yourself. To me, as a diehard entrepreneur, somebody that started shit, won, lost, that whole in between, I would never do anything again without me actually putting my hands to it to do it on my own accord in my own space. If I'm coming to invest the money just to be an investor in that space, I should have already known and studied that clearly. And clearly, there's something in here when it comes to the love of money, the greed, and the desire to be successful that blinds people. And I keep saying, when you come to Atlanta and you have that in your mind, that's the shit that happens to you. That's what happens to you. You do a lot of dumb shit.
Black women how to invest in real estate, flipping homes and turning them into a decent profit. Tara, a real estate agent based in New Jersey, she says she was all in.
I felt like, this would be a place for me to start. Realtors always.
She doesn't have a pot to stand in. She's a real estate agent, collecting earnest money, writing contracts, involved in transactions, checking to see what the closing HUD looks like, dealing with lenders for the buyer or potentially, for the buyer. Okay.
Need a second hustle.
How much did you spend?
So for the class, it was 20.
As an agent and you completed multiple deals, you need a second hustle in the space, and you turn over just random money. You don't know any investors that you worked with that would be able to teach you. You didn't look at the game from investors. We got to stop thinking that this is real, like complaining about this shit that happens. It's okay for other people to lose money as long as it's never you losing that money.
Congratulations, well done.
But it makes sense when you don't understand business, when you don't understand loss, when you've never put your ass on the line, and when you think putting your behind on the line means giving somebody $25,000, $30,000, $100,000 to do a deal. That's not putting your behind on the line. That's being stupid. It's being dumb. It's being dumb. It's being dumb. And I'll have some smoke for the investor too. Don't worry. I'm an equal opportunity smoker. I'm an equal opportunity smoker. This is not going to be one way. We're going to do this both ways because there's no clarity in it when it comes to this. And yeah, you got some bad players in the game. That's true. But you also got a lot of shit that happens in the game. And because you never took the time to educate yourself, a lot of them, when it happens, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? The house burnt down.
$5,000.
$25,000 for 8 virtual sessions.
$25,000.
Did she spend $25,000 in her real estate business for a coach that would actually teach her how to scale her business? Because there's a ton of coaches that are very proficient that charge way less than that. And that time and energy that she felt she needed to be an investor. Because we in this thing, everybody want to be an investor. It's always it's because investors look good. Okay.
I know it was. Now that I think about it, I'm like, I could have went to school for $25,000.
She went through with it anyway, and that's when she says the red flag started immediately.
The first class, she canceled and had to reschedule. So it was more of, hey girl, I can't make it today. I got to go get my hair done type of situation. And that should have been a red flag for me immediately. But, I was just like, let me just get the information and keep going.
She says
if you pay me $25K to coach you, I'll be like, hey, you ready? Meet me there. I don't need you to go check YouTube and find out everything you're about to charge you. That's $25,000. You can find it on YouTube for free.
Big part of the class was about funding. Searcy guiding you to build your own LLC and get the loan process going.
She connects us with this group called Fund and Grow, and they get us business credit. So they apply. You don't even see the applications. You just see the cards coming in.
So what she's saying isn't crazy. There's a lot of groups and companies out here that's their business model. They provide credit through credit cards or through direct deposit loans, unsecured loans. Nothing crazy, nothing off the wall with that. A lot of that stuff is done verbally. When it's done, you get your qualification, your approval. Your approval should be written, and then you should have your money deposited or checks given to you.
So we ended up getting, between me and my husband, $120,000 in business credit.
Excited to get started flipping homes in New Jersey, she was told there were no profitable homes.
First of all, if you got $125,000 in credit cards, you're dumb. You're dumb. You're dumb. You got $125,000 and you're looking to take the whole $125,000 out of that and put it into it. That means the high-ass interest rate that you just got right there. If you were qualified enough to get $125,000 in business credit card, you're qualified enough to probably get a SOFI loan with a lower interest rate that will probably be as much as that. And you're qualified to go into your bank and probably get a line of credit where you can pull as much money off. You have to pull the whole thing off. But with that, you still have interest on, you have payments, you have interest rates payments on all of these 125 credit cards. Think about that for a second. Think about it.
To flip in her area.
She comes to me, she says, listen, I know you can't find a project. I have a personal deal that's going on. Do you want to join? I don't really do this. But you know, I know that you really want to do this.
It was a $1.2 million build here on Claremont Terrace in Atlanta.
You're in New Jersey. Did you want to invest in properties in Atlanta, or that was just what was offered to you?
That was what was offered. Of course, I would love to invest more where I was, but what I've sent her, she just was like, that's not worth it.
All right. If you cannot invest in your own neighborhood, why would you go from New Jersey down to Atlanta to invest? Why would you let somebody even tell you that that's common sense, that's something you should be doing? Why? 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 That is what I'm talking about when I say there's two sides to this. And this hit piece is great. And I'm not saying that the investor didn't have any shady shit going on, but I'm not saying that. But it always starts with us realizing what's happening and what's going on. We gotta stop thinking there's an easy pill to this success thing. Like, we can give something to somebody in that amount of money and they'll just give us their education experience. You can at least have a good accountability if you gave you would have great accountability if you gave $25,000 to a school. And you were going to go to school for an AI class, let's say. And this is a 4-year college institution or a 2-year college institution. Accountable. But you just give $25K. And I'm a marketer. I'm a promoter. I've taught people before. They paid me. Damn, I was worth $25K. They ain't paid me. But to $25,000 and just like that, there's something internal that's taking place, and we are skipping over it and pointing the finger at this person and not addressing that issue, because that issue will come back. And I say this is always a learning lesson. You don't learn in business by going to school and somebody teaching you. You do. You learn by fucking up. You learn by messing up. You learn by getting dirty, getting your hands in there, and it's messy. And it's always going to be messy because you got a bunch of different personalities that want to win, sometimes in the same transaction or the same deal. And there is a zero-sum outcome. Like, there is no you win and I lose, you lose and I win. I mean, there's no we win together, win-win. There's a you lose and I win. I win and you lose. Especially if I'm buying a property and I'm rehabbing a property. Somebody is losing on a purchase and somebody's going to overpay or pay what I need them to pay on a buy. And in between, contractors are going to accept less to get things done, or they're going to accept more to get things done. And the contingency, the things that happen in the middle of doing real estate projects will blow your mind. I've taken out walls before and did a full inspection before I even walked into it. Took out a wall and found nothing but termites. And now that little piece right there of 1,000, oh my God, turns into 15. It was only going to run 5,000 to 6,000 to fix that doggone bathroom. You easily could tack another 1,500 to 2,500 on top of that. And it sucks. Oh no. And it sucks. And try to explain that to somebody you're in partner with who don't even show up at projects. And they just sent the money and say, yeah, I want you to make me rich. The richest man in Babylon, I keep saying, one of the principles, and we don't do enough reading. We think that this self-help thing, we think it's just self-help, and it's true, it is self-help, and it shouldn't be. But there are books out there like Who Moved My Cheese, The Richest Man in Babylon. These are books you can get off of Audible and you can read, and it will save you a ton of money. Every time I've violated one of these principles in a richest man in Babylon, it's come back to bite my behind. It came back and just bit me.
The profits is too close, it's too tight, it's not worth it.
She agrees to go in on the project, $90,000. Searcy and her business partner, Tyler Williams, they put up $1.1 million through their own individual LLCs.
I wired transferred from all those credit cards to multiple different accounts. That should have been another red flag.
She says that 2 other women whom she never met, they were also stakeholders on the project.
I went down there and I went to go visit the site without her. It was nothing done. It looked like it wasn't even touched.
That was in March.
And you hear that? She went down there. She went from New York down there to visit the site. One of the key rules when you do this real estate investing, flipping deal, and you hire these contractors and people to do shit, you're supposed to show up every day. You're supposed to show up at least 2-3 times out the week.
March 2024. In their contract, the property was to be renovated and sold within about 6 months. They guaranteed Tara a 200% return too. Her $90,000 original investment plus a $90,000 profit.
If the numbers make sense, then hey, if it makes sense, then that makes sense. If it makes sense, I can see that. Does it always do that? When we write these contracts, we need to, and this goes back to the investor right here. We don't need to guarantee them shit. You really shouldn't. Because when you set yourself up and you take the loan out and you do all of that and your credit is based on that and it's your money that's also tied in there and you're patting it with a little bit of their money to help do it, like, and that's a normal deal. People do that stuff all the time and never have an issue. The fact is we promise too much that they'll have that return. And we don't realize that things happen. Basements don't get built. Bathrooms need more attention done to it. We realize that after all of that, you fall short. You spent more money in. I don't know where, even in a stock market, anyone puts money in and they think that they're going to get the same amount of money back. The only place that that's possible is freaking T-bills and bonds that you get from the government. Even your own stock market won't guarantee you your money back. Even your own business won't even guarantee your money back. Where the hell do you think you're going to get guaranteed back double your money back? And if you got half of that back, your money plus half of that, are you going to still take them to court? I've seen people do that shit before. I've seen them do it. Yeah, they got their recoup back, but they didn't get all their profit back. Fucking idiot. we always want to lose. We always want others to lose. There's nothing wrong with us losing. I mean, we want to win. Everybody else got to lose. This is taking more than I even wanted to do, but hey.
When it was sold.
She was like, oh, you know, we had some issues with structural. We signed in March. This was June. So we were like, you didn't even tell us like what the situation. She's like, it's not a big deal, but it's an additional $20,000 or something that they had to pay.
She paid for the back door, about $7,000, but that's all she.
Damn, $7K for a back door? Oh, shit. Oh my goodness. Now, you came and you gave her $7,000 more. You came down and checked out the place and saw that it was behind schedule. And you still turned around and did that.
To do.
We're out of money. We are totally out of money.
By this point, over a year goes by. It's May 2025. She wanted out of the deal altogether, but she says Searcy refused and has yet to pay her back. And remember, she did take out a business credit line for this. Hey roommates, before we go any further, do us a big one.
Took out a business credit line for this. Wow. And that's nothing wrong. People do that all the time. It's not crazy.
Investigates. Make sure you go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the Shade Room's YouTube channel for new.
About $6,000 a month. It's more than my house bills. We've given them everything that we have in our savings.
And she is not alone. It happened to Makisha McClinton in Georgia.
We won't get our money back.
And Charlotte Wolcott in Tennessee.
She's really good with kind of talking a good game once she gets the investment or the money.
This was to be $1 million homes we're talking about.
It was set to sell for $1 million and something.
Wolcott wiring $65,000 to go in on this $870,000 flip property in Atlanta's prominent Buckhead neighborhood.
Per the contract, if it sells, then my return on that investment would have been a return of $100,000.
But the dream, it was short-lived.
This is the house. Look at this.
October 2024.
So the house catches fire. Yeah, you're going to sue her for that, right? But at the end of the day, you still have insurance. That insurance policy should have paid out. Should have paid out.
Months into the flip, it burned down.
I don't want to go all the way up in this thing because I definitely don't want to fall in. I mean, you could see it is completely like, I mean, I cannot believe this.
When the house did burn down, was it a mysterious fire? Did you feel like there was something going on with it?
She says on her own Facebook, her live on Facebook on that day, it burned for 6 hours and nobody saw it. But you can see in the video that she's doing, there's a house right next door.
We did get a hold of the fire incident report. Fire investigators, they were called to the scene, but the cause, it was listed as undetermined. McClinton, she was a stakeholder on the project too, and says it wasn't adding up.
And they sold the property in May, and they didn't even tell us they sold the land for $800,000. And they had got a check, so we asked for documentation. They said they didn't get all the check from the insurance. I said, well, can you send me over the document as to why they didn't send over the full amount for the burn down? We never received it. We never received the document for the purchase of the home or the sale or the insurance check.
Instead, she says they took their investment money and funneled it into another flip project.
Okay, so this is horrible. It's horrible because it does make the industry look bad, but at the same time, it's horrible because the sense of business acclimate between people who want to get into real estate and people who are in is some breakdown. A lot of the time, people who get into real estate, I keep finding this over and over again. When they jump in, they want to throw money at stuff. It's always because they want a quick return. They want magic. There's no magic in this. At the same time, investors, y'all need to start just doing your shit by yourself. Now, I'm not going to say that this girl is fraudulent in what she did, the investor. She may be. I don't personally know her. It's a lot of these guys running around Atlanta doing stuff. I don't know them. I don't know them. One thing I do know, you get that closing disclosure, you know how much it was bought for, how much it was sold for. And you can get that right from the attorney. She could have called the closing attorney and said, I'm on this. The only way she could not have done that is if she could not show proof of ownership of the place. And if they set it up where it's an LLC and she's not on it, yeah, she doesn't own it. She just invested in it. And if they don't say anything about, we have to share this information with you, or you're entitled to know this in there, and there's some boundary to set up with that, they don't have to give her anything. They don't have to give her a purchase sales agreement. They don't have to give her a purchase buy. All they have to do is make sure they provide that return on investment. And if it doesn't hit that much, just say why it doesn't. Because she's not on title. She doesn't own it. They have nothing more than an agreement between both of those. And that agreement should be detailed. When I learned and I saw this, I said, damn. For whatever reason, there is a greed, a sense of when you will just do anything to get anything. And it's on both sides. It's on the investor side, and it's also on the lender side, the lending side, the private lender side. They will do it because that's what she is. She's just a private lender. She doesn't own anything. She's a private lender. You know how many private lenders out here loan money and then they have to end up foreclosing on it? They put those things in the contract. If we partner on it, this doesn't happen, that happened, property reverts over, we foreclose. Learn business before you start going out here and giving business money to people, you know? Fail and lose your own money before you turn around and let other people lose your money for you. And do it, and then keep doing it so that when somebody comes to get your money, which I've been in that place that came to get my money. Hey, Leon, you want to invest in this? Blah, blah, blah. You can at least be able to say, this makes sense, this doesn't make sense, or I know a little bit about this space, or I know somebody that may be in this space, or let me research this space. Lose your money on your own first. Lose it. That's for the investor, and that's also that's for the investor who buys the project, and that's also for the private money lender who wants to get into it. Because there's so many ways to make money in real estate. And you don't need these people to do this stuff for you or even with you. You don't. You don't need them. You don't need them. There is when you bring in investors, you're trying to scale. So I'm talking to a friend of mine. He's an investor. He says, Leon, it wasn't, my whole goal was freedom. I just needed a XYZ amount to live free every month, every year. So he built his portfolio for that. And that's as simple as buying a recorded digital program on how to buy real estate, or looking at it online, studying it, and then just going and doing it. And because there's so many people giving out information, whether it's the agent or the lender, or even the attorney, you'll find some space in there to leverage. And then if you find a good community, a community that's just a basic community, we're not talking about 25K to get one-on-one for 25K. I'm like, what are you trying to accomplish? Like what? You're trying to get this thing fast and hard, and it's no fast and hard in this business. It's slow and it's hard, and it's slow and hard. Okay? That's it. That's it. And this is what drives me bananas with real estate. This is the thing that drives me bananas with real estate. This is it. Because you have so many people that want to make a quick dollar. They want to make some quick money, some quick bread. And they end up losing it all. The Bible scripture talks about he that rushes to get rich. There's a scripture about it. A man that rushes to get rich, to get money. Chat GPT. What's the Bible scripture about the person that rushes to get rich? Hold on, I'm on Gemini. I don't know what's going on with Gemini. It always, now it's like twirling. Let's go. You need the $200 program. Well, Chat GPT has my $200 right there. All right. Proverbs 28:20. Yeah. A faithful man will abound in blessings, but he who hastens to be rich will not go unpunished. That's for the investor and for the lender, period. Because you better believe there's a hastening to get rich. There is. And welcome to Atlanta, where everybody wants to get rich quick. Yeah. All right. I'm done with that story because it's so painful to listen to. It's annoying and it's one-sided.